Order, Bedford Township Board, August 5th, 2025, 7 p.m. Please rise for the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Pastor Brenner Trepovich, thank you for coming this evening.
Sir, thanks for having me. Let's pray. Thank you, Lord, for this night. Thank you for our township and the leadership that we have, and thank you for our residents and our citizens and for what's going to be discussed tonight. As always, Lord, we ask that you please help us to do all things decently and in order. Help us to find solutions to issues that we have, and help us to look forward to our future, for our families, for our children, and for the sake of our township. We ask for your protection and your direction. In your name, amen.
Thank you again. Next on the agenda, approval of the agenda. I need a motion, please.
Motion to approve tonight's agenda.
Support.
Ms. Hirschberger, please take the roll.
Mr. Gore?
Aye.
Mr. Bruning?
Aye.
Mr. Montroy?
Aye.
Mr. Stump?
Aye.
Ms. Janasek?
Aye.
Hirschberger votes aye. Mr. Pryor?
Aye, motion carries. Next is consent agenda. Agenda Committee recommends to approve and place on file A, minutes from the July 15th, 2025 regular meeting of the Bedford Township Board. B, balance sheet and revenue expense report for period ending June 30th, 2025. C, accept with regret the resignation of Mike Bassinger from the Board of Zoning Appeals. D, quarterly investment report. I need a motion, please.
Motion to approve the consent agenda as presented.
Support.
Real quick, for a point of order, maybe for Mr. Camperton, I was not here for the July 5th, so should I be abstaining from, I'll support the other three.
That is the normal protocol. If you're not present during a meeting to hear the ongoing decisions and the discussion, that you would abstain.
Okay.
Second was from
We got a
Bruning.
second? Todd? Please take the roll, Ms. Hirschberger.
Ms. Janasek?
Aye.
Mr. Bruning?
Aye.
Mr. Gore?
Abstain.
Mr. Stump?
Aye.
Mr. Montroy?
Aye.
Hirschberger votes aye. Mr. Pryor?
Aye, motion carries. We have no presentations. Next week, public comment. Just a word to the audience is that we are currently reviewing some of our board policies, and we'll be working on that. I'll be working on that with Josh Stump and with our legal, and we'll probably be bringing that back in the second meeting in September. So next we have public comment, limited to 2 minutes.
Real quick, I don't want to interrupt you, but I just got a message that we cannot be heard on TV, so if George.
Give me George.
I just received a message that they can't hear it on TV.
Make sure you come to unmute.
Yeah.
Hi, Noah Feynman, Bedford. I'd like to address the board regarding the Open Meetings Act. The Open Meetings Act protects the public's ability to address public bodies. In the last meeting, Attorney Camprath stated that there will be no personal attacks, and I believe he's relying on Attorney General Opinion 5332, which states, it is my opinion, therefore, that the board may adopt a rule which prohibits a person from using the board's and public's time to make personal attacks upon an individual. However, if the phrase personal attack is intended to refer to the manner in which an employee of the board or board member carries out his or her duties, the rule would be invalid. The rule is very clear here that terminating a public comment for criticizing a board member's conduct in official duties would be a violation of the Open Meetings Act. As I discussed in the last meeting, the board has a township board and administrative policies manual, which sets out rules for all board members By extension, compliance with this manual is an official duty. So discussions of how a board member violated this manual are protected, including violating section 2.23, board member conduct by repeatedly calling individuals nut jobs during meetings, violating section 3.1, code of ethical conduct, by claiming to participate in illegal activity, and section 3.22, community role models, by publicly smearing a rape victim and saying that she is just after money. I'd also like to address the board on the decision to reduce public comment time. The manual I brought up earlier specifies a 5 and 2 minute public comment time on which any matter may be brought to the board. Without amending this manual, the board has maintained a single 2 minute comment during the past 2 meetings. This was against your rules, and it was clearly done as a form of retaliation against the public because the board members did not like what the public was talking about.
Thank you for your comments.
Hello, Karen Flynn, Temperance. I'm concerned that this board is misusing the Open Meetings Act to inappropriately restrict residents' rights to engage in public commentary. On July 15th, the board stipulated that under the OMA, residents could only address, whoops, sorry. Hang on, don't make my time go. I hit the wrong button on my phone. Sorry. On the 15th of July, the board stipulated that under OMA, residents could only address township business. Public comment was not allowed regarding what the board inaccurately labeled as personal speech and activities of board members. What was silenced is township business. The board itself made it so when on June 3rd, it officially announced the No Kings protest. Some board members chose to threaten and insult residents, and the rest remained silent. This township business of insults and intimidation has unfortunately persisted. It is not personal speech when spoken by a board member at a board meeting or when the speech pertains to a member's duties. In a sleight of hand, the board deceptively declared this township business to be protected board speech, which it banned the public from addressing. The board actually restricted the public's rights to criticize relevant board affairs. On June 15th, residents were also prohibited from calling out individual board members during public comment time, which, by the way, has been reduced by some 2/3 to suppress criticism. Residents were forbidden to even refer to or name individual board members. This was another inappropriate application of the OMA because there is no specific provision forbidding naming, quoting, or criticizing individual board members. If this undemocratic partisan censorship of public comment persists, including the banning of incorrectly labeled personal attacks, which another resident will address shortly, this board should provide specific, one second.
Thank you for your comments.
Oh,
Time is up. Oh, ma'am, thank you for your comments.
Jacqueline Arvanitis, Temperance. You've all said you support the First Amendment. I've sat here in this room while you've said it. But every time we show up and speak, you take away more of our rights. At the first meeting, we wanted accountability for the violent comments made during a board meeting by a board member against your constituents. And instead, the board member doubled down on those comments, called us nut jobs while the rest of you sat there silently. At the second meeting, you cut things short when people spoke out of turn. Then you called the police on us when we were talking in the parking lot on the way to our cars. There wasn't even an appearance of a threat, yet you chose to escalate and put us in a potentially dangerous situation. By the third meeting, you took away the public 5-minute comment time completely and told us what we could and could not say during the 2-minute comment time. The same board member also called us nut jobs again on the record. I feel like we've lost the plot here, guys. This could have been handled right away if, with the exception of Mr. Stump, the board would have condemned the violent comments. Instead, you hid behind the very amendment you're trying to limit. This isn't just about us. You are limiting the speech of every single community member who wants to speak before this board. You're trying to shut down voices of dissent, period. I voted for most of you, believe it or not. And instead of representing us, you've turned us into the bad guys to protect one of your own. Clearly, this board member struggles to control his behavior, but you aren't powerless. You could speak out against it. You could publicly ask him to resign. You could do something. Instead, you've chosen to go after our speech, limiting what we can say. You serve us, and we're not going to stand by while you take our rights away. What you've chosen to do here could be illegal, and don't worry, we're looking into it. And it clearly proves you don't actually give a damn about the First Amendment.
Thank you for your comment.
I'm Sarah Jessen. I live in Lambertville. I'm finishing Karen's words. If this undemocratic partisan censorship of public comment persists, including the banning of incorrectly labeled personal attacks, which another resident will address shortly, this board should provide specific justifying citation from the Open Meetings Act. Otherwise, these board practices would appear to be a misuse of the OMA to justify the exclusion of inconvenient public commentary.
Thank you for your comment.
Justin McCullough, Temperance. Today I'd like to comment on the dubious and possibly illegal interpretation of the Open Meetings Act that was put forth at the last board meeting. Despite only referencing board members by name and only referring to comments made during board meetings, we were told that those comments were not allowed. The OMA section on limiting public comment states, a rule limiting the period of public comment may not be applied in a manner that denies a person the right to address a public body. The same section of the OMA cites the legal opinion of former Michigan Attorney General Frank Kelly. In A.G. Kelly's opinion under audience participation, question 5 is, may the public body prohibit a person from making an address to the public body during an open meeting, which is a personal attack on an officer, employee, or board member. In fact, the board attorney cited A.G. Kelly's opinion almost to the letter. However, they conveniently left out the next part of the statement. If the phrase personal attack is intended to refer to the manner in which an employee of the board or a board member carries out his or her duties, the rule would be invalid. Government employees are allowed to have their speech, behavior, and even improper use of devices used during meetings addressed by the public and is explicitly allowed under the OMA. A lawyer from the Foundation of Individual Rights and Expression was quoted in the Toledo Blade in reference to the unconstitutional rule, personal attacks are constitutionally protected, as a ban on attacks or criticism while allowing praise is inherently viewpoint discriminatory. Additionally, to the extent there are formal restrictions on personal attacks, the restrictions would be unconstitutionally vague, as there is no way for someone to know where the line between a mere criticism and a personal attack is. Restricting comments to relevant township business is generally fine, but that restriction cannot be used to prohibit relevant critical comments. Thank you.
Thank you for your comments.
Hi, Pamela Hess, Temperance. I'm going to go a little off script here because I concur with what Jacqueline Arvanitis said. We've kind of lost the plot here, and I'm here to remind you of our intention to speak to the board. On June 3rd, there were incredibly inappropriate comments invoking a militia. I want to ask, has this board ever had their wife or their husband threatened? Have you ever had your mom or your dad threatened? Have you had your siblings threatened? Have you had your friends threatened? If you can answer yes to any of those questions, then you can understand how we feel, and that's called empathy. We were scared. We were scared, and we decided to appeal to the humanity and the heart of our elected officials, who then did not acknowledge us, showed no remorse, insulted us, and met us with apathy. I do want to say, Mr. Pryor, I appreciate what you've written on the bottom, or what has been written on the bottom of the agenda, that board members will be respectful towards audience members. I really appreciate that. I have not seen that yet on any other agendas. I just want to say to a certain board member, if standing up for my loved ones and my friends and members of my community makes me a nut job, then I will be happily considered a nut job for the rest of my life. Thank you.
Thank you for your comments.
FYI, right after you said something, Joe, we checked both cable and on YouTube, the sound's coming over. If they're looking on cable, call the cable company and let them know you're not getting enough volume. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, George, for checking that. I just wanted everybody to make sure they were heard by our citizens.
Any other public comments? Seeing none, we will be moving on. We have no staff reports, no unfinished business, new business, vouchers for payment. Ms. Hirschberger?
I'd like to make a motion that the following vouchers be approved for payment. General Fund, $88,780.44. Fire, $62,184.72. Police, $230,705.87. Fire equipment, $2,187.06. Downtown Development, $689.91. Library, $12,586.23. American Rescue Plan, $1,206.86. Capital Asset Revolving Fund, $631.33. DDA Construction, $384.75. Building Department, $5,001.24. Sewer O&M Fund, $1,099,645.57. Trust and Agency, $4,251 for a grand total of $1,508,254.98.
Support.
Second. You take the roll, Ms. Hirschberger?
Hirschberger votes aye. Ms. Janasek?
Aye.
Mr. Montry?
Aye.
Mr. Gore?
Aye.
Mr. Bruning?
Aye.
Mr. Stump?
Aye.
Mr. Pryor?
Aye, motion carries. 8B, approve appointment to the Board of Zoning Appeals. That is Jennifer Barth. She is currently an alternate. She'll be taking Mike Bassinger's position, so she'll be moving up in terms of that. So I need a motion to appoint.
I'll make the motion to appoint Jennifer Barth to the Board of Zoning Appeals, with her term will end December 31st, 2026.
Support.
Ms. Hirschberger, please take the roll.
Mr. Gore?
Aye.
Mr. Bruning?
Aye.
Ms. Janasek?
Aye.
Mr. Stump?
Aye.
Mr. Montry?
Aye.
Hirschberger votes aye. Mr. Pryor?
Aye, motion carries. Approve the appointment to the Board of Zoning Appeals for Dan Walters. Dan Walters serves on no other boards right now. He currently works for another township in Ohio, so he kind of understands township government. Lives on Temperance Road, and he wants to serve. I need a motion.
The motion that we appoint Dan Walters to the Board of Zoning Appeals as an alternate, his term ending 12/31 of 2027.
Support.
Ms. Hirschberger, please take the roll.
Mr. Gore?
Aye.
Mr. Bruning?
Aye.
Mr. Montry?
Aye.
Mr. Stump?
Aye.
Ms. Janasek?
Aye.
Hirschberger votes aye. Mr. Pryor?
Aye, motion carries. Mr. Niederkor, would you like to approach, please? Okay, this is in terms, we have already purchased these water fountains. We ran into some difficulties in terms because of sewer lines, that type of thing, so we were able to figure it out. It originally was going to be coming in to like close to 60 grand for an install, and I said, no, we really need to figure something else out here in our parks, because they're older parks, these sewer lines and so on. So we were able to do that. We got together with Dennis Kohler. We got together with Bernie, our plumbing inspector, and figured it out. And we had two bids, with the low bid being $36,850 through Advanced Plumbing. We have used them on this building. We just used them in the back for a project. We've had no issues with them. So, Josh, do you have anything to add?
Do you guys have any questions about this purchase?
It's for all three parks. So.
Four, actually.
That's right, for them. So, any other discussion? Or seeing none, can I get a motion?
I'll make a motion that we approve the contract with Advanced Plumbing to install water fountains at Carr, Parmalee, White, and Samaria Parks for the amount of $36,850. The money will be drawn from account 447-000-970.0055.
Do I have a second?
Support.
We have support. Ms. Hirschberger, please take the roll. That's good. Oh, any further discussion? All good? Okay, let's take the roll.
Mr. Bruning?
Aye.
Mr. Gore?
Aye.
Ms. Janasek?
Aye.
Mr. Montroy?
Aye.
Mr. Stump?
Aye.
Ms. Schwerger votes aye. Mr. Pryor?
Aye, motion carries. We're getting new drinking fountains. It's been a long haul. They've been sitting in our warehouse.
And a quick question, how soon will they start the install?
We have told them to prepare that. We thought they would get it. So advance is pretty good. So I'm hoping within the next couple weeks they start getting in on it.
Great. That'd be good to have it done.
I couldn't tell you until we talk to them tomorrow.
All right.
Let's put it this way. We got the approval and we're ready to go.
It's in here.
Yeah. Yeah. And they're pretty quick. I mean, anytime we've called them, they've been.
It seems they've done a good job. So
Yeah.
I don't expect anything different from them.
I mean, I call them up and they're here. I never have to wait for them and stuff. So. Yep.
Sounds very good.
Yep.
Good to see it.
Great. Next, comments from township board members. Josh?
Yeah, I look forward to working with the board and whoever else on updating our policy regarding our public comment time. I will tell you that I will always err on the side of free speech and the First Amendment when it comes to our residents coming up here, voicing their concerns about our behavior and conduct in our board meetings and outside of our board meetings. To me, it's not about one person on this board. It's a 50,000-foot picture for the next board doesn't matter. I do believe that they should have the right to come up and criticize us, hold us accountable for whatever action. But that's all I got.
Mr. Rooney.
Everyone have a good night, good weekend. My boys have graduated, so I don't have any Bedford update sports for you. And then an announcement for you guys, and your group may be very interested in this, because on August 17th, from 12 to 5 at Grace Conley Park, which is 7465 Suter Avenue, they're having a fundraiser for, it's called Bobby's Closet. It raises money for kids that, don't have money to buy anything. I will be in the dunk tank, you guys. Come throw balls at me. I'll stay up there as long as they're making money. So it's August 17th, 12 to 5. They haven't told me what time I'm going to be in there, but I told them I would sit in the dunk tank for them. That's all I have.
Mr. Gore.
Should be a good turnout.
Right.
I think I'm going to be first in line for that one. Maybe I'll miss the thing and throw them at your noggin, maybe. We'll see. Anyway, nope, I just hope everybody's having a good summer. School's getting ready to start. Some schools will be starting fairly soon. Watch out for those kids. Watch out for them crossing the street. Watch out for the buses. Let's not run the bus stop signs or anything like that. I know, everybody, we'll see in a couple weeks.
Mr. Montroy.
Nothing for me.
Ms. Janasek.
Everybody just have a nice evening and a safe weekend.
Ms. Hirschberger.
Just want to wish my daughter Ashlyn a happy birthday today.
Great. I got a few things. First, if you live on a stone road, we're going to start applying dust control a little earlier this year, so it's going to be in a couple weeks. Next, in the back, in terms of the building, give the board a little bit of an update. We're probably 2 to 3 weeks away from being totally finished. The only problem we have is concrete on some steps and so on. That's been resolved, so the project has gone very smooth. I mean, my 20 years in construction, I've never worked on something this smooth where the communication, the flow, and everything has been right there. And they've even gone above and beyond on some things that they didn't have to help us with, and they did. So that's going very well. In terms of yesterday, there was a shooting, and there's been criticism about flock cameras, but that flock camera is the one that tracked down that shooter yesterday over at Secor and Hemingway. So they got that person. So they do work, because we do get people say, oh, they don't work and that type of thing. We also have an opening on the park board. somebody's interested. We had a park board member resign, so we will be taking applications. There will be an interview process, so please apply if you're interested. Next, I'd like to, my deputy, Mr. Chase Lindecker, saved us some money. I put him on a project because I work with the Library Advisory Board, and we have these panels, and they're cloth. And we've been trying to figure out, what do we do with these things? Do we tear them off the wall? Somebody tried to clean them, didn't quite work, and I was like, look, we either need to try and get these redone. Somehow, maybe they can be cleaned or whatever. Well, he did locate somebody that does a dry cleaning process on the cloth. Saved us about $58,000.
Wow, nice.
Because we do not have to now go ahead and replace these panels. And they turned out great. So kudos to him in terms of doing that. And that's all I have for this evening. Be safe.
The park board process, when does that start? Like, can people start applying now? And like, how long are we going to hold off before filling it? Do we have any answers on?
Can they start putting in applications? I know it usually goes through your office.
We'll be putting something out, but if they submit applications, of course, we're going to hold on to them.
Well, I mean, do we have like a deadline of when we're going to, like 30 days, or is it going to be filled within 2 weeks? Like,
really haven't even
discussed it with the park board yet.
Okay.
'Cause they have, when's your Josh, when's your meeting? Next Monday? So you'll probably talk about that, how long you want to open it up for?
We could put it on the agenda on the state statute as far as how this works.
So.
We've been through this before in the past, so it'll just depend on how long the park board wants to leave it open.
Okay. And this is a paid position too, for the board. Any other comments? Seeing none, I need a motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn.